That's right. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office releasing a better surveillance photo of this guy this morning. I'll let you see that photo in just a moment. Now, this guy has hit 2 local malls. The MO is pretty much the same. He'll walk into the store, request to see the most expensive thing they have. Once he gets his hands on those items, he'll simply run out. Deputies in Pinellas County sending out a major warning this morning. Lock your car door. This after a rash of crimes involving teens. Ahead in a live report, I'll detail exactly the warning they're sending out to keep you and your family safe. Following a developing story out of Alabama this morning where police are searching for the suspects who opened fire at a rally for peace. Now, Birmingham police say that 6 people were shot outside of a public housing community just last night. All of those. And thankfully they do. Let me show you something. The surveillance camera right at the front of this store. Now, investigators say this guy was actually caught on that camera as he walked right here out of the front door. As you can imagine, parents hearing about this. Not only that, they tell us that you could see his baseball talents right away. In fact, he helped the high school here win a state title back in 2011. He not only had a major impact at this school, but across this entire community. You know, it may seem a bit strange, but nearly 15 years after the 9/11 attacks, the United States is still under a national emergency, and President Obama recently extended that order for yet another year. Whenever you talk about gun laws, it's always a very controversial subject. The meeting today, all a part of the mayor's efforts to stop gun violence right here in the city. Over the past year, he's tried a number of different measures to ensure that communities in this city are folks who travel this area on a daily basis will certainly have to pack their patience. As you mentioned, this roadway project could possibly last up to 2 years, but city administrators say when it's all complete, this will be a major benefit to the folks who live and work in this area, as well as local businesses, but they will have to get used to all of these construction barrels, as well as those roadway signs all around this area for the next few months. In fact, the company found out about this issue the last week of August, and this hole, as you guys mentioned, is massive. It's about 45 feet wide, and they aren't sure how deep it is because they actually can't see to the bottom of this thing. Now, this video is incredible. Let's take a look at that.
Sunday in Atlanta.
And the team wants you to get excited, of course, for their opener. Hillsborough County will celebrate the return of NFL football today during the Eat It. The number of veterans dealing with PTSD and thoughts of suicide are beyond disturbing. And now some are wondering if medical marijuana could possibly be the answer. Folks here are not wasting any time, and they're taking all of this very seriously. Now, the major concern this morning are for those homes that line the Homosassa River behind me. Of course, we're going to send you out the door with weather and traffic this morning. Looks like Janelle had a rough night.
Oh.
Wow. She looked kind of rough this morning.
Oh.
She's
No.
I missed that one.
Yeah,
Like, what?
No. I'm saying that Janelle looks rough this morning. But boom. Bad joke. What can I say?
She's had that long weekend.
The city of St. Petersburg is showing off the latest plans for the Pier District this week, and they're also still looking for public input. At this point, you know, investigators have been here throughout the morning trying to gather as much information as they can. As you mentioned, that deputy was hurt. Thankfully, he is recovering this morning, expected to be okay. You know, this is a very active scene out here this morning. A former Secret Service officer accused of trying to solicit sex from who he thought was a 14-year-old girl is now facing more serious charges right here in the state of Florida. Robert Lee Moore, of course, now to the mess surrounding Ryan Lochte. Some pretty tense moments last night on Dancing with the Stars as protesters rushed the stage after Olympic gold medalist Ryan Lochte's. And a lot of folks are concerned. This is one of those sandbag locations where folks can come and pretty much load up a sandbag, whatever they need, immediately. And a number of these locations have been popping up at several counties throughout the area. Of course, everybody. A 72-year-old man will compete in his very first full Ironman. How about that in Madison, Wisconsin this weekend?
72. As
you mentioned, the major concern this morning are for those homes that line the Homosassa River here, many of them right behind me. I spoke with a number of homeowners this morning concerned that in just a few hours, they'll be forced to leave.
The weather. Cutting our vacation short.
A caution and concern first and foremost on the minds of people here in Homosassa.
I mean, the people who's native here, we've seen so much of this stuff that we just taking it with a grain of salt.
Longtime resident John Sykes was here back in '93 when a massive flood hit the area.
Well, it was over waist deep right here where we're standing right here.
Folks in town holding out hope they won't see the same over the coming days. Local schools being proactive. An automated call going out to parents regarding student safety.
We stay up to date. I'm sent weather updates, even if it's just going to be a bad storm.
Kids at Homosassa Elementary already set to get out early this morning, thanks thanks to a teacher development day. In just hours, the Citrus County School District will release weather plans.
They're keeping a close eye on it. They're supposed to be meeting this morning and giving us some information later today to make decisions about the rest of the week.
Local businesses also prepping. At the Freezer Tiki Bar, generators and lanterns on hand in case of a power outage. The staff says they've seen high waters on the Homosassa River before, staying confident they'll make it through this.
But we go through this every year, and the freezer is the freezer. When the tide gets up too high, we'll either leave or we'll stay and make potato salad and party.
Citrus County Emergency Management set to outline their threat response this morning once they know the strength and path of the storm. And let me tell you guys, the rain is just starting to fall now, so folks are getting ready for this weather event. We've also been told that a number of local parks are closing early today. As for those sandbag locations, 2 sandbag locations are opening up here in Citrus County this morning. For more information on where you can go to get that assistance, if you need it, you can go right to our website where we have a full listing, abcactionnews.com. For now, reporting live in Citrus County, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Yeah, they're going to be talking about making gun laws a bit tougher. As Dan mentioned, you know, this is always a very controversial topic, but this is yet another plan by the mayor to make communities right here in St. Pete just a bit safer. Over the past year, we've seen St. Pete Mayor Rick Kreisman put forth several efforts to fight gun violence.
This is really addressing a crisis, what America has called an urgent crisis in our community.
Council members and community leaders see it on a daily basis.
You know, you don't know how many boys, young boys, come to me and said, Miss Lisa, I might not even make it to 21.
These kids, their blood is flowing in the street.
Today, city leaders talking tougher gun laws, meeting with a group founded by Gabby Giffords. The former congresswoman survived a mass shooting back in 2011 in Arizona. Police tell us 9 people died from guns from January to July of this year in St. Pete.
One is too many. You know, if we have one, that's one too many.
Mayor Kreisman has pledged to find $1 million to invest in the city's youth. This year, the city named the area's first community intervention director. Job 1, to stop the constant cycle of violence.
This didn't just happen. We're looking at the amalgamation of a lot of neglect and a lot of misdirection, and it's going to take time.
City administrators say one of the keys to that change, efforts like today's event. And if city administrators also say the overall aim with all of these programs is simply to save lives. Today's event kicks off at 11 a.m. Reporting live from St. Pete this morning, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Well, he certainly did, Dia. In fact, we're set to speak with the baseball coach here in just a few hours. And grief counselors are also at the school this morning to speak with those staff members who may need it that actually know this baseball player personally. His friends, family members, and former teammates are planning on holding a vigil here at the high school at some point this week. You know, this is where he got his start, actually winning a state championship back in 2011. His former teammates say he had a huge heart.
And a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Teammates say the talents of Jose Fernandez were undeniable.
He dominated, but he had respect for everybody and respect for the game. That's what I think made him such an exciting player to watch.
1-2-3 inning for Jose Fernandez.
Fernandez, a 2-time MLB All-Star on his way to superstardom. His life was tragically cut short in a boating accident Sunday. 2 others also killed. Things all started here at Tampa's Alonzo High, where Fernandez won a state title.
He was just a good kid. He's just full of life. He's just amazing pitcher. Probably one of the best I've ever seen. And it was just a joy to have him here.
Jose Fernandez was also known as a major inspiration to people in the Cuban community, having tried to defect from Cuba 3 times before finally making it to the U.S. in 2008, sworn in as a citizen just last year.
As much as he was a great player, as much as he was a great pitcher, but besides that, he was a great human being, and for that, as a Cuban American, I feel very proud.
Just 6 days ago, Fernandez posted this picture to his Instagram of his pregnant girlfriend, talking about his excitement about starting a family. Those who knew him best say he'll be remembered more for the person he was, not just for what he did on the baseball field. And as you can see, staff members here at the school remembering him with a sign on the school in memory of Jose Fernandez. fly high and soar proudly. Obviously, very emotional for the folks here. Again, the head baseball coach here at the high school set to speak with the media at 3 p.m. today to tell us a little bit more about his background and also what he meant to this community. As for funeral arrangements, they have yet to be set. For now, reporting live this morning, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Well, Dan, at this point, they appear to be fine, which is good news. They've actually been stuck in this pond since September 2nd. As you can see behind me, a number of volunteers have actually come out to help in this effort. Over the past few weeks, workers here at the golf course have done everything in their power to ensure these animals are safe.
I knew that big one. That's what I said. I think it would plug it almost up.
This video provided by Plantation on Crystal River Resort shows crews working to care for and monitor the manatees discovered here just weeks ago. Pushed out of their natural habitat thanks to Hurricane Hermine.
The manatees are going to be removed by hand. No cranes will be used. So it takes about 20 people to move a 1,500-pound manatee. So we're going to have plenty of heavy lifters around today.
Okay, if we can get one more board to keep on.
Their condition and food supply monitored daily since. Florida Fish and Wildlife putting together a plan to remove them this morning.
The pond is filled with hydrilla, which is the best vegetation for them ever. It's like a creme de la creme for them. And so they've been feasting on that. They have plenty of room. The pond is 200 yards long and 50 yards wide, 10 feet deep. So they've got plenty of room to move around and plenty of food.
The resort's official Facebook page updating the public on the progress of the operation. At least 6 sea cows spotted.
It can be from an hour, it can be 10 hours. It just depends on how difficult it is to locate, how difficult it is to actually get into the water, how deep we sink, things like that.
Good girl.
Those here simply wishing for the best for their unexpected visitors.
Knowing that they're going home and that I can see them in their natural that's what I do this for.
The alarm is not so.
And once these manatees are removed from this pond, they'll be looked over by doctors to ensure they're okay. If they are safe and sound, they will be placed back out into their natural habitat. As for how long this operation should last, I'm told by a number of volunteers out here, this could be a number of hours or possibly even days. Again, 6 of these animals in this pond. Of course, we'll be out here throughout the morning monitoring this. And you can also go to our official ABC Action News Facebook page. We'll be streaming this rescue operation live there as well. For now, reporting live in Crystal River, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Well, Ivan, let me tell you, it's a major concern out there for folks here in St. Petersburg this morning. In fact, the mayor plans to hold a press conference at 1 o'clock today where they will address how the city will handle any possible flooding around the city. Of course, this is a discussion that many communities throughout this area will be having this morning. Concern growing across Tampa Bay this morning. Sandbag locations like this one opening up in a number of counties. Everyone gearing up for possible flooding.
Especially today. Actually, like a few hours ago, we realized how bad this is coming in.
Tracy Walker of Newport Richey stacking up.
At least maybe 10. That way we can keep it from coming in again.
The director of emergency services in Pasco says it's an all hands on deck situation. They're getting their plan ready for the storm, and they want to make sure residents are prepared as well.
We're a little nervous, with the storm coming in, but we definitely feel like we're in way better position than we were a year ago. It was up to these windows.
Sean Green hit hard by flooding last year, holding out hope this week won't hold the same.
We're preparing as well as we can, getting water, that kind of thing, preparing for the power to be out, that kind of thing. And we're just taking the small things that we have left because we lost 90% of what we owned last year. But we're just putting it up. We learned big lessons last year.
And as you guys can see, we're out at Lilman Park in St. Pete. Pretty active scene here. When we first got here, there was a huge pile of sand. Folks started showing up at about 7 o'clock this morning, gathering sand. They've already knocked that down, and they brought in another truck to bring in more sand to this area. This site here will be open until 8 o'clock tonight. Spoke with an official this morning, and they expect it to be pretty busy out here all morning as folks prepare for this. Definitely trying to be better safe to be sorry, of course. And again, the mayor of St. Pete holding a press conference this afternoon at 1 o'clock where they will address this. And we just got word that the mayor of Tampa, Bob Buckhorn, he's also holding a press conference at 11 a.m. this morning where he will be discussing how the city will make preps for any possible flooding as a result of this rain we have coming in. Of course, everyone watching this closely, if you would like to find a sandbag location near you, you can always go to our website, abcactionnews.com. For now, reporting live in St. Pete, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News.